looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok. We may be doing some other things. There are a couple of options, but a lot of things are happening. So we'll see what happens. But we are looking at a lot of alternatives with respect to TikTok.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Spotlight. TikTok, probably the most popular video and content sharing app of recent times, was originally found in China in September 2016, and from there spread out to the digital market of the entire world in the following years. The following year, the original company that owned it, ByteDance, purchased it in the American market and merged it with another such app, Musical.ly, which was more famous in the Western world. Today, TikTok's popularity is beyond question and has almost 800 million active users. However, talking about US, the American audience seemed to have gotten a bit too much into using the app. Many artists have even skyrocketed to fame within a very short amount of time through the means of TikTok, and quite surprisingly, most of these celebs with millions of fans from around the world and billions of views in their videos are just teenagers. But an unexpected possibility of the app being banned due to tension between the governments of the countries involved under recent circumstances has risen. The roots of the problem seem to lie in the fact that since the app is Chinese origin, it's being said it might be used by them to spy on the citizens of America. The president himself has said that the government is looking into the matter and there is a chance that TikTok might get banned altogether from the scene. No concrete conclusions can be drawn from the facts at hand right now, but with the intervention of the government itself, it is probably wise to presume from beforehand that the app might be taken out from the American entertainment industry. Today, we have made a list of the possible outcomes of the potential TikTok ban. However, these just aren't expert opinions in any shape or form and should not be used to cite as sources. We are just looking into the situation and trying to deduce the very basic outcomes of this decision that is bound to induce some rapid, rampant changes throughout the country. Make sure to watch to the very end as we count down this list and see what the results can be. Number 1, increase in VPNs. The TikTok ban will almost definitely cause a huge rise in the payment for and use of subscription-based VPNs like NordVPN and ExpressVPN throughout the United States. However, it is difficult to say how much it will be effective because even VPNs don't seem to be able to give free and liberal access to illegal sites all the way. Network usage is also affected by VPNs, and most of the times it has been seen that speed and strength of internet is significantly reduced than normal while using these sites. For those who don't know what a VPN is, VPN stands for Virtual Private Networks and act as a substitute network that enables users to send and receive data across a shared or public network as if their computing devices were directly connected to the private network. In simple words, it redirects the network used by someone to a different place as if the user is using the network from a different region altogether. A user from the United States can use a VPN and have access to a network that is not allowed in America, as if it appears like they are reaching the network from a different access point altogether, say for example, from a different country. The use of VPNs has been evidenced in country we're talking about itself, that is China. The Chinese government has banned useful and efficient American apps like Google, Facebook, and Instagram in the country. Still, the people of China who wish to use these apps have been taking advantage of the virtual private networks and have been using them to access these apps that have been declared illegal in the country. However, there is no guarantee whether the lack of such a popular app like TikTok in America can be compromised by the VPNs because, as already mentioned, they're not always efficient and trustworthy. Whichever angle we look into the matter from, it is clear that the very profitable ban on TikTok in the States will bring about rampant changes. Number 2, migration of TikTok users. The ban will see a great shift of the target audience to other apps. Both viewers and artists will be affected by this, however. This is more inevitable in the case of the actual artists on the platform who've been using it and have become quite famous as content creators. A few years ago, this is exactly what happened with Vine, which was almost famous as TikTok is now, if not more. The content of Vine was slightly different from TikTok though, as it was mostly skip-based and content was more humor-based. Back in the day, Vine even surpassed YouTube at times on the basis of daily usage. However, even Vine had its fall from the world market, and most of the artists had to shift to other platforms of content sharing, mostly YouTube. Now, while some artists were there like Danny Gonzalez and the Paul brothers, who had a swift transition within the two, most people from Vine couldn't keep their success in YouTube. This might be the similar fate of many TikTok users. However, some damage can probably be controlled by preparing beforehand and branching out on platforms other than TikTok where there's still time. And even if the ban still has some delay in being implemented, having the access to other platforms will not only secure the positions of the artists, but can also help in increasing the number of followers and fame for them. Number 3, loss of active users. This is the most predictable and foreseeable result if the ban takes place. If the app is taken out of the market and declared illegal, it will lose a huge number of active users, both viewers and content creators. Statistics show that out of the 800 million plus users on the TikTok around the globe, there are at least 60 to 80 million from the United States itself. Quite evidently, there will be a huge slash in the number of people using the app, and it is going to be a general loss from all aspects. We also can't deny the possibility of the content creator being cut down by a significant portion, as many of the famous TikTokers who have millions of fans and followers from across the world like Charli and Addison are American. So now if the app is banned, it might even affect viewers outside of America and throughout the world, as they might not be getting to see their favorite artists and content creators. So in a way, the national ban on TikTok will be all over bringing down the use of the app by a significant portion. Number 4, opening up of the market. As already mentioned before, China has banned the use of many apps of American origin. This includes Facebook, WhatsApp, and even PayPal. But how has the government compensated the absence of these apps? Here's how they've done it. An altogether new app was launched called WeChat that are all the features and functionalities of the app mentioned previously. WeChat allows the users to interact with other users readily, compensating the use of WhatsApp. You can post pictures there and let others know about your day, like stuff people do on Facebook, and even has the option of monetary transaction covering up for PayPal. Now, it goes without saying that if TikTok is removed from the American market and therefore given the digital entertainment space, the government will most definitely have to come up with a new alternative that will compensate for its absence. Now, whether the ban is implemented or not, and if it is, then whether they can come up with a solution for it is what we need to see in the days to come. Number 5, affecting the economy. As already mentioned, these aren't expert opinions. We're not even delving deep into the details of economy or politics, but are just analysing the basics. That being said, another apparent consequence of the TikTok ban will be the effect on the American economy and tax returns. Here's how. It doesn't take a genius to realise that the more money someone has, the more money they will be able to spend it on buying and purchasing things, contributing to the capitalist. Now, this is similar in the case of TikTokers, who are bound to look for alternative sources of occupation if the app is declared illegal. This will definitely take a toll on their income, and evidently, none of the presently rich TikTokers will be so far high up on the financial scale, further implying that there won't be much expenditure on their part. With the decrease in their income, the amount of tax payable will also significantly decrease, and the government won't be able to ask for tax from them. So, the income of the government is also bound to be affected by it. Now, this might be involving a very small portion of the tax-paying citizens of the United States. No amount should be looked over by the government if they're vying to come back in the next set of elections. As already mentioned, the economics and politics involved here are quite complicated, and we have not set out to analyse them, but these are very probable outcomes that the government and the president himself are probably pondering over right now. While you're still here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there.